Change is inevitable. Learning from change is optional. Whether you call it disruption, transformation, or a paradigm shift, be skeptical of anyone who says they always embrace change, they always thrive on change. Let's be frank, we only do so if we perceive a personal benefit from such change, or we're the ones trying to get others to change. The only person who always welcomes change is a wet baby. There's always restructure, budget cuts, changes to legislation, currency fluctuations, and just when you thought things were settling down, they introduce a new procedure or IT system. It's easy to forget that the 7 most expensive words in any organization are, "We have always done it that way." After over 20 years of helping organizations navigate change, I've discovered that sometimes the more things change, the more they remain the same. Before every conference, I have a detailed client phone briefing. And often I feel a sense of déjà vu when I hear, "We're going through unprecedented change, unprecedented staff cuts, unreal budget cuts. You wouldn't believe the new legislation, the new compliance." Well, yes, I would believe it, because as a senior executive with government and IBM in 3 countries and a board member, my colleagues and I admittedly said much the same things ourselves. And from many years of working with diverse clients around the world, I hear similar comments. Admittedly, the pace of change is faster than before, and individuals and organizations need to be more nimble. So, how do you get individuals to be more receptive to change rather than resist? How do you get them to complain less and be more empowered to offer positive suggestions for improvements? To be part of the solution rather than part of the problem? How to focus on what they can change, such as processes and innovations, rather than waste energy whinging about things they can't change, like legislation or currency fluctuations. How do you manage expectations in that ever-increasingly, rapidly changing environment? How do you get others to embrace change and suggest better ways, even minor changes for major impact? How do we navigate change in both our professional and our personal life? Sound familiar? But it's also important to know what not to change. What fundamentals should remain intact? Because undergoing change for the sake of change is almost as dangerous as avoiding it completely. Too many organizations in the race to rebrand or keep up with a competitor forget the basics which made them successful in the first place and throw out the baby with the bathwater. As I wrote in Hot Lemon and Honey, Reflections for Success in Times of Change, when what used to work at work no longer works, it's time to change our ways of thinking and think of ways of changing. We must all resist complacency, because success today in no way guarantees success tomorrow. Organizations talk about disruption and paradigm shifts, and hey, shift happens. That's shift with an F. Shift happens in Mother Nature and human nature. Shift happens in the tectonic plate, causing tsunamis like a closure of a once successful company. But more likely we're upset by more than just a little ripple of change caused by a stone slowly emanating outward in an otherwise still pond. I'm a surf lifesaver at Manly Beach, and the ocean is a marvelous analogy for change. Whether we surf the waves or surf the web, there's constant currents and undercurrents of change. We don't always know what lies beneath the surface, and we certainly cannot discover new oceans until we have courage to lose sight of the shore. I'd like to promise that I could rescue your organization from change fatigue, so that suddenly everyone is enthusiastically signed up for whatever changes you're trying to implement. That's what I'd like to promise, but it wouldn't be true. But I do know it's possible to shift the majority of people along the change continuum from negative to more positive, to help you with some subtle or not so subtle shifts in your corporate culture, and through the power of story, humor, to help your team realize they're not alone in this world of change. As civil rights leader James Baldwin said so eloquently, "Not everything that is faced can be changed, but nothing can be changed until it is faced."